Today we're going to be replacing the rear sway bar link on my 2012 Suzuki Kizashi. That's the part we're looking at right there. It's been on the car since 2012, so I'd say it's definitely bad. My front just went bad last week, so front goes bad, more than likely the rear is bad also. I can't say most of your suspension issues come from this little tiny piece right here. Here's the new one. You can tell it's even thicker. A lot of the clunking around in the front or the rear could just be determined by this little bar right here. It's a rubber boot. Mine's actually completely off, but yeah, that moisture, water gets in there, it just rusts them all out. So, since it is so rusty, I'll go ahead and start off by hitting it with some blaster, some PB blaster. I'm going to go ahead and assume these are not going to come off, but that's okay. I can show you how to do it the hard way, so you can do it. So after letting the solution sit on the rust for a little bit, I tried to turn it myself, but as I assumed, it's not going to come off. Once you try to spin that 14mm bolt and the screw starts to spin also, it means it's spinning in here also, so you're going to have to cut it off. So how we're going to do this is, since I can't get a Sawzall in there, we're going to start by taking off these two 12mm bolts, which will release this part of the sway bar, and then we'll come back here to drop the whole sway bar. That was easy. Alright, now that part is loose. Now we need to come back here and take off that sway bar brace. Now, since obviously it did not work out for the easy way, which I'm assuming if you guys are changing these, it's probably not going to work out the easy way for you guys either, but we're going to have to remove the other two 12mm bolts on the driver's side. Alright, now we got the car jacked up. We're going to now take off these two bolts. They're also 12mm. Kind of a tight fit, but once you get the top one done, the whole bar just pulls right off. There you are. Now we'll go work on the passenger side and we'll have the entire sway bar and sway bar links dropped. So I didn't get to film the actual cutting off of the sway bar link to the sway bar, but a normal Sawzall took it off within 5 minutes. Something, you know, around most people's houses anyways. You can tell, here's the old one, here's the nice new one. Great looking rubber boot around it. This one's one thing that's changed with the new one is obviously it's thicker, everything. So you're gonna look at it. This is a 17 millimeter. So that is something that's gonna be different on this new one. Since you had to more than likely take off this piece, I would go ahead and leave it off for now. Go ahead and insert that end into your sway bar. And then yeah, doesn't matter. You get it. That way you can go ahead and start that bolt right there. Be a lot easier in the maneuver later. So you're going to start by hand tightening your 17 millimeter nut on until it won't move any longer. Hits that rubber. You're going to want to put on your 17 millimeter ratchet wrench and then insert this key in the center. That keeps the center, the bolt, from turning with the nut. Alright, try to get back here. Don't tighten it down all the way, because again, we just want to get this started. Go ahead and put your two 12 millimeters back in. Once you finish that, go ahead and attach the other part of the link to the sway bar itself. Alright, pause it. Now once you finish getting the sway bar link connected to the sway bar, don't forget to tighten up your 12 millimeter bolts that hold on the sway bar. So to sum it all up, if you're lucky, you could just pop your key in and take off these 2 bolts, and it's as simple as replacing those 2. Shop will charge you $1 to $150 to change them. You can do them yourself. If you have the unfortunate incident like I did where you actually had to cut them off, yeah, just drop the sway bar. Very easy, 2 12 millimeters. Replace them with your new. Take off these 2 12 millimeters, and then that's it. Cut them off, reverse the process.